I'm super excited for today. I have been building for a while by myself, right? Just here alone and nobody else. And I thought I would make something that I actually have been wishing for a while, that would be teaching, also doing the things I actually have to do, and having content for my YouTube channel. So this is the way you make it all possible. And I hope it's entertaining enough. I have not really planned a lot. So what I have in mind is to have a Figma file where we can all kind of play around, and then we discuss about things. I would really like your opinion on things. If you can turn on the cameras, amazing too, because then I am not just talking to myself, even though I'm seeing here on the side. The idea for today is really to check this area that today it's called on demand. So there are on demand videos there, and there is a bunch. I don't remember how many exactly. We can show that on the database, but to give UX, UI or HubMeet events a little bit more of a feature, right? Like a lot of people are coming to share their skill with you guys, and I'm really glad they are coming, but it's also a way to mark those people that are helping us and be grateful for them to come, and allow other people or newcomers to really to learn about this area and to learn about these events, and also to join the next editions. And for that, we do a little bit of research. We think about what we could put there. It's not something that needs to be exactly finished by the time, like in 40 minutes, but at least go in that direction. We could maybe have a wireframe or so. We will definitely implement it partially, and you see too a little bit from the other side that I'm here kind of thinking of the features. Oh, so you go there to the file, make the changes, and also create the space that's necessary to make it work. Let me know a little bit about you. Are you a designer? Where are you joining me from today? I am in Switzerland. I am from Brazil, and I'm also I would not say the founder, but the responsible for the UX UI Hub. And that's the app that we are going to talk more about today. I see here Tishune. I'm joining from Germany, originally from India. I am a UX UI designer, aspiring to learn more about no-code tools. I'm really glad about that. And Ben, also a UX UI designer based in Scotland. Isn't Scotland such a nice place to be? Really love Germany too. Have lived in Berlin and Munich. So definitely a place that I enjoy a lot. So I also see Dawao and Nazrin in the call. Okay, I will share my screen. Okay, here we have the UX UI Hub app, right, that you all know. And the area that we are going to see a bit today, it will be the on-demand events. So I have the chat here. Can you see the chat when I put it on the screen or not really? So this area is really in the end here. And we have on-demand events, right? You see the last one from Eve Malik. Then you see a bunch of events from the UX Conf, some other from Career Foundry here. Then you have one from Under Flores. So this is the slide I'm talking about. And what I want to do is to create a better version where we just only display the part for the HubMeet, right? So what I do here is just to do a very simple print screen of this area here and add it to this file that we are in. So this is the problem. So the idea is to reimagine the current user flow, study slides in other video platforms, create wireframes and visual styles, and implement with no code in real time. Let's go for the user flow. What happens in the user flow today, you may ask? Okay, so this is the UX UI Hub, and the current flow is we have this slide where we slide things around, and we click on the event. Then we see the old way things are like, right? We see that the event was online, was on the 17th of March. This is a little description of it. And then you see the button where you can watch on demand or share with your friends. If you click on the watch on demand, this video is going directly to the YouTube where this is, which could be changed to. So I will just do some print screens just for us to understand the flow. So this, we click, we have the view of the event. This is the second step. And then the third step is for us to click or share if we want to share. So this is what happened. Now, instead of having it on demand, watch on demand, we can think about a place for it to be just by itself, right? So I will add here, or not necessary, I will add a rectangle and say like, okay, this is the HubMeet. So this slide will be just about HubMeet. I will make this yellow, and we could have it bigger. Remember, this is an iPhone, right? So we want to create a frame with a size of an iPhone. I'm always using iPhone 13 mini because that is I think 70% of the phones today are this size. This is quite big, right? I will also add that this is actually called HubMeet. We could add some styling to it and some other things, but how we could change this or create more people seeing it. Like today, it is quite small, right? I will get from, this is the real app, just for us to go to the product here to see the difference. This is how the event looks today. And now we are creating this new version that could be something bigger, right? So the idea here now, it's for us, okay, so we saw the flow. The flow is just this. What happens today is that we have a calendar for all the events that people can also subscribe to. It's also a Luma calendar. It's not my name, but it's like the UX UI hub. So Luma, that UX UI hub. In here, you have all the events, and most of them are HubMeets. So we could have a link for it, like view next or view more. Like a view more would not work because the point is that you just have access to the next one, right? So we could also add that type information there if we wanted, if we think it's interesting. The other thing we could do is really to make the size of it bigger. When you do a carousel that is bigger, it's always good to show a little bit of the second one, right? So let's put this inside too, just to show that the user would know that there is navigation, right? The other thing that it could be done would be, instead of doing this, could be doing big or even smaller like it was. So now I don't need this anymore. Let's just play with design itself. We could also add a dot navigation here, just to know how many of these exist, right? And that is it. The other thing we could avoid is, instead of going to click to see the event, what is done for it, and then watch on demand, would you agree that may be interesting for us to simply do it directly? So instead of having a page where we have the image here and a lot of description, we could have already the video itself and the description, or even open the video. So we could have this, and we could have a share, for example, with some description. So I'm just cutting things here just to think out loud with you. Like I said, I didn't really not want to plan too much because this is supposed to be a little bit collaborative. If you have any ideas, be free to add to the chat, because that's really for it. And then we would already be able to play, right? So let me add a rectangle here, triangle actually. And so we could share it directly, and then we would not have the 3 clicks, but just 2 clicks, right? Because you are already kind of watching it there, what it is and so on. And so let's study slides in other video platforms. I don't know if you guys know, there is this project. I always receive a drop from them every Monday. And right now the name just went somewhere. Oh gosh, I can actually, it's easy to find. They are here somewhere. Yes. So Mobing. Yeah. So Mobing has these screens from other apps that you can see how they have done things. You can simply log in. You have access to some screens as a free user. I am still a free user. I will share the link for Mobin later on. So I use search for here for slides, or here there is a slider. So the slider is this currency thing. So not what is I call it slide because that's the name of the component in Bravo, but a lot of people called it carousel. So I will search for carousels. So you see here there is an Airbnb carousel with the image and the dots on top. That could be something we could use with a little description already, so we could play directly from it. I will add it to our board here. So this is the current user flow. So this is trying to reimagine the current user flow. This is the current user flow. And now we are on study slides in video platforms that don't necessarily need to be video, because we can grasp ideas from anywhere. Be free to add here any of the slides you think are interesting, right? So here there are some, and these are the most popular app categories. So let's search for video, photo and video. So we're using Instagram, probably. Yeah, it's here. I cannot see the slide. There are these slides that are quite cool too, but too much. Any other ideas? So I can also search on Pinterest. I also have an account there. Let's do this carousel app design. Let's see if we can find any interesting carousel. Most of the time they are thinking about content they want to share and not really into content. So I can try content carousel. Let's see if that helps. Not so far. Let's try video carousel. We could also do a directly video carousel. Oh, there is some idea here and also here. Like we won't have several categories, but we want people to see that area very quickly. So here it's a carousel to add something on the cart. Here it's a carousel with Figma, with transitions, which is really cool. We would need some animations for that. Probably too much. Oh, I like this one. Imagine this one. This one is quite big. So something like that could be interesting, but probably too big. What we could do, it's a smaller version of that. So let's watch this again. You get this. Maybe not this size, this height, but a bit less. Oh, I love that someone just added the masterclass to the file. Thank you. I also feel that this is really good and has the play button. Who was it? And if you want to speak up and say about what you like about it, I would love to hear.
Hi, this is Dhawal here. So like while we were looking at reducing the number of clicks,
Mm-hmm.
so I thought like looking at a design where you can play directly from the card itself, and maybe if we have more see more button where you can see the description, so this would reduce the number of clicks.
Oh, really cool. So what type of description we could use here? Because, here it's really very small, right? Like, okay, we have the title of the card, like the image most of the time have just with who is, and then we have the title of it. Would that be enough for us? Or you think we should do a little bit more?
I think the original content, which seems enough, and when you get into from the play button, maybe then you can have a description like thing like how YouTube does, and then later you have other videos showing in the bottom, so that can help you to have more time spent by the users on the app.
That's a good point too. Let's add there that like how we can use that smaller carousel also at the end just to show more content from that section. That's what you mean, right?
Right.
Great. I love the idea, and I think that's really good. I think we can even go forward already. I love the idea. Well, I think that's a really good one. So let's improve this. We started with that, and yeah, we could do something like okay. So now we are doing a little bit of a wireframe, right? Let's get the wireframe here done. very messy file, and that's really about it. We have a title and we have view next, just for us to be able to see the next events too directly from where we are. We can have a little bit higher card. You see that this card is quite high. So let's see if this is not in proportion. So I will actually add this in proportion just for us to see how tall it is. And it takes quite off the screen too. So you would have to scroll a bit. Right now, these cards are so about 315, actually 320, something like that. So we can do them maybe 300 to not be too tall. And I think that's a good width, right? Like a 210 is also good. And we can keep the same type of corners we had before. The corners here are 8, so I will keep the design consistent. Okay, this would be a card, a more, then we would have a space, probably 16 in between. We could start whatever we want to start. Most of the time, I think I started 32, but let's count here. So I do believe it's 32 from, oh, it's actually 18. So from the border, you just group and put 0 here and then put 18. So it's just 18. That's really interesting. Oh, no, it's not 18. Let's see. Let's put them in the same just for me to see. I don't, yeah, it is 18. It's just visually different. Okay, we have the dots too, which we can change later. They didn't even add them because it's actually not really necessary. When you have the view of the next item, we definitely can cut them off. So I think to be more clean and to not waste space, that would be a good thing. We have buttons on the UX UI. Most of the buttons here, or even all, are rounded corners. If we go around this file here, this is the live app. And we see that happening with our part that we are doing right now too. So I will just get one of these buttons and duplicate it. The idea would, I will get this one here. So I will add this button there to our file and then make it smaller, right? It has 54 of height, which is a good height to click on. And then you have here 2 actions. One is play and one is my list. We could solve that with a simple play button without the play itself. And we don't need the my list thing because first, it's not a lot of events. And second, it's not a lot of events. And second, we are not adding that feature today. So what do you guys think that would be more interesting? Should we add a play button? Like, of course, this is ridiculously big. And I do think that anyways, the whole area should be clickable, right? Because when you click on that, you actually want to play. So even if the button should be small, for example, or you just get the CTA here, duplicate it and kind of hide this button here. So if this would be just the button, we could have a button that is white or even black too, and do the button with the play word. So of course we can do that in several ways, but I am doing this the easiest way right now. So the idea here, it's like a white button with a play. I think 18 is quite big for it. We can use definitely 14. We can use all caps if we want. We can also add a vector. So I also like SVG repo. So they call you finish soon, and you all can get to the call or to the link that is on the chat. Just let me know if you got that. So I'm using this solar style for it. I will use this little button here, quite liked it. So I will drag that from my downloads to my Figma file. Make definitely smaller, like probably be around 8 or 16 or so. It has this space, so I don't need it. I will make it like a 16. And I always think the buttons are better when you have background, feel into it. So in this case, I will just subtract this. Let's see if it works. It doesn't seem like it. So let's just add fill in both, remove this, and then do subtract. Yes, now it did. And then I can add the color. So we have a play button here, which we could put on the center or by the bottom. I think by the bottom is quite interesting. I add it here in this button. So here's the button. I think in the bottom is quite interesting because then it gives space for the design itself. What you all think? Like, be free to speak up. Any suggestion? Anything? Nope. Okay. So this is a play button. I think if when it's alone, kind of feels good when it's on the left. So could be something like that. It's a bit different, but I also want to see your version, you know, be free to duplicate this idea here on the file. Just get some, one of your versions here and play with it. And let's choose the one that looks the best. What you do is you create some of the images already in this size will be fixed. So if you want to play with the file, go for it. Just play with, grab your version, duplicate it, and drag it somewhere in the file, and let's play with it. I will get some images right now for us in the meantime when you are playing. So here it's a real image of something that you happen still. So I will play with its size here. So it's 210 by 300 by 300. And I also like to make this much bigger because then the quality is better. Maybe not 4, maybe 3. Yes, 3 times bigger. And I won't need this because we are just working on them. Yeah, we could even do both just to see how things go. Here I will add a frame to it just to get the right size image. And I will do a couple of them. So this featured one I will add here, and this one I will add here, and then we can add. So this call you finish soon, like I told you. Be free to join the link I sent in the chat. So okay, right now it's quite boring too that this design is less about the outer. Like I totally understand when things are happening that we want to talk more about the HubMeet itself, and so we could also be creative if we want on the on how we display this right now. Like so we have a play, and in this case here we could add the name. We can now have different types of cards here. Like I don't think the number of it's so important. Also the brand of like the logo itself, it's not important to have again and again. So we could focus into the title. And the interesting thing on each, I would say that's really first, let's make it a component here, just so that we have an instance with the right size. So it will be 210 for us to see if that would be good enough. So we could increase size of the title, maybe have 82 or something like that. So have some space. Of course, all of this can change. Like the actual style is this, and then maybe add a bit more to the size too, maybe less than that, on to 7, maybe like this, so that her name is also important, but not as important as the title. The most important here is to really think about the biggest titles we have had before, right? And for that, I will show you the database. So this is the database so far, and you see here that the biggest name was actually this one, but width is not important. So far, this one was the biggest. Then it's good for us to test with the new name just to see. So you see, this one would be too big for it. So maybe we try to, so this would be the maximum that we could do to keep it in 3 lines. We could also work now in a little bit more of the spacing and put that a little bit more central. That could be something I would accept. I think we could also add some shadow to it just to be playful. So you add a rectangle here inside that is coming on top of the image, and yeah, like this, and add some shadow or gradient on the opposite, and also black but zero. So we can change the how much of that should be. Maybe 20% would be good. Also, where should it finish? I would say by her end of her image looks fine for me, looks enough. And then if we export this, just as curiosity, so I export image, I add here to downloads, and I come here to the design that I was playing with. So I add a fill, I add an image, and I search for the image I just did. Also put 100%, so we can see how it looks. It is a little bit too much because has the drawing and so on. Like actually here, it might be a good idea to already do this instead of making the image just for us to see live. So I will put the corners here, 8, and I will just make this. So, okay, we have the image here. I will add it to here. And now if we change the design of it, we will see it there. So we could add it central, which I think it would be fine. But then we have the high, we have play, we have. So what's your opinion? I think it is a little bit too much. I could add a little bit more here, probably 30%, to look a bit better. Maybe if the button is the opposite, could be good. Then the arm looks part of it, but it also doesn't work. The other thing we can try is to put the play somewhere under the name. I don't know. It's always a trial, right? Like in design, normal, right? Like we do that all the time. I don't know. I think what I play is to add to make this movement to make this a bit up, and yeah, change this a bit just to have the space for the button, just to see if that looks better. So I would put maybe -16 just to see, maybe 8. So I am summing and just to, yeah, I think that would be fine. What you guys think? So I see, let's see. Did you, like I'm seeing here, if you created any version. So yeah, use the guideline. That's a good idea too. These images you come from the database. So, okay, I think it's quite good enough for now. I could use, of course, always change it later too. This is never something it will not be changed again. So this could be the, I would say, I use check here, but I think 18 is quite big too. All the sessions today have been a little bit different, but I wanted to show a little bit more about HubMeet. Like you see, we are using 12 most of the time, and very light and also not bold. So I put 14 and leave it bold just to show that this is a little bit different. What do you think about that?
Yeah, the play button fits in very well here.
Yeah.
It's after the changes, it does not feel intrusive.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we can go for it. So we have now a wireframe of it, and now we implement. And the fun part of implementing an app that is already live is that it will go live, right? Anything we do here, it will be going live. So the ideal would be for us to create this image here for the other events to add it. So since I don't want to keep you all from it, what I will do just to make it simple would be this. This is the image that right now we are using there, and it's available on the database. So what I will do is just to fit it here. And that might look awkward for a few minutes there live, but it doesn't really kill anybody, I would say. Like anybody would, if you visit the app, you see that there is an error, but it won't hurt it because it will be visible anyway. So just for you to see how that will look, I am adding it here. I will add an image and I will get that one. What happens in Bravo will be this. It will just fill the content and be central. So you see this with a button, which is not that bad, but we won't view the text or the title. So this will be the version that we use easily. I can even add the rectangle on top. Where is it? Actually, it's in here. Just for it to be a little bit more interesting. So this will be the version we are going to see live now on the app once we do this. How does it work now? Okay, the first thing is to imagine or to get to understand what are the things that we need from the database and make this as best as we can, right? So we want to do this part. And we will keep this one that you just have the others. So I will add this part on top of that. So I will just copy this to the live app. This is the live app now. And we are in events. This is the events page. And here is the watch on demand area. So I will put this down and I will glue this one here. And so the view next didn't come. So I will copy again. I will cut it again. Okay, so this. I will duplicate this just because we are doing a carousel the same way. So I will duplicate it and I will put it here on top. It's great when you are doing this for a while because what happens is that a lot of things you have done before, you'll be just duplications. So now instead of having this watch on demand, I will have these two buttons. So I will just do that and I will put them here too. So I will delete this one. And this has a link on it. Should have a link, right? But I will add is a button, a much larger area, right? I really think 48 is good. I think we don't, we have the 48, great. So I will put it below just for you to see. What this you mean is that once you click view next, you get somewhere, right? So now I will remove the color on this one. So I will just click here. It's transparent. And this is where I want it to open a link. For that, we add a Bravo tag. So a Bravo tag, it's something we use to Figma to be converted into an app. So there are several of them. And one of them is called, so let's see, most of the, like I really like this. So Command Alt T, you are opening everything. And then I will search for WAHAL or open, I think it's action open, if my memory is not good. Action open or website. Let's search for a website or should be WAHAL. It's strange. It doesn't feel that it's actually searching. So Command Alt T, action, close. I think it's open WAHAL. Sorry. I think that's it. Open something. Open. Let's see, open like this. Sometimes really hard to remember things. So there is also plugin called Bravo Tag Manager. So one of these two, I think it's the Tag Manager, but if it's not, it's the other one. No, it's the Tag Manager is doing another thing. So let's search for the other one. Bravo Design Build. Okay. Yes. So we want now here it will be a button. And when we click on it, we want to open a WAHAL. So we come to tags. I put WAHAL. So you see action, open WAHAL. I don't know why this was not open there. When I clicked on it, it applied here on my layer. You see? And the way you use this should be, let's see, open WAHAL. For some reason, it cannot find it here. You click on it again just to see where exactly it is for us to find. It's a mobile action. So let's come here, forms, actions, open WAHAL. So you can just add open WAHAL and get that WAHAL from the database or add the WAHAL itself after the column. So I will add the column and add the WAHAL itself, like here in this example, you see in this here. And I will add the Luma UX UI Hub. So this is the URL. I will add it here, you see, and I will close the column, close the bracket once my URL is done. So this should be good and should work. Now we have a title, we have a button, we have a line there, and we have a title. It's great, looks good. So now we are going to add this new area here, which is quite big. We have done this. Now we just want this card to be this card here. We don't need an event title. We actually don't need a shadow, but I could leave it there just in case we want, but I can copy it later. We have a background, also don't need that. We have a new that, yeah, I think it's good to have. We can check if that works or not. Free, it's always free, it's always online, so we don't need that on the slide either. And what we need now is to, you copy this and add to that one slide. So this here is a slide. I will show you how the slide work. It's a container slider horizontal, so which means that you have several slides inside. And each slide should be like this. So we are changing the slide and we are adding it there. So it will start here and it will be a bit bigger, right? We can go until the edge of the image itself. And this slide should also go a little bit further. So this slide is at least this. For some reason, the play went for a walk. Okay, we have play here. So when we have this button play here, we have the same kind of action, right? When we click in this button, actually, I would say when we click in this slide, so I would have rather have a duplicated of this image. You just duplicated here the full background, BTN. And this full background that's on top should be transparent, just for you to see. I am doing on this one, right? And I want to add the same open action well, but this now you come from our database. So open well, great. Now we don't need to have anything there. So we are opening a URL when this is open. So I am opening YouTube directly. We can later on decide to add a player and so on. So I will just add this one right now. We have the button that you work because it's under, so we don't need to add action to it. And now we have the whole design. So I will duplicate this. This is this part where there is the gradient. I will just add it. Then we have the image itself. The image you come from the database, so I will add an asterisk on it. Then we have all of these that actually are the images. I don't need that. I don't need that. And here we have a new. So I will allow it to stay the new because we do a conditional on it and we don't need this square image anymore. So we have a new session already. This is it. What will happen now is that we can make this 0. What I like to do, you see there is no image anywhere. So I like to add this image and now you see that. So this is the final design. I will add the rounded corners. Also to the gradient on bottom because it was looking awkward. And that is it. Do you have any questions so far? Because the next thing would be for us to now add the database. Dual is saying awesome in the chat. I'm glad to hear that you are enjoying because I'm really excited to do more of this. Okay, we have it done. So now let's go for the database. In the database, I already have a list here called UX UI Hub, but there are things that you be in the future. There are things that are not really UX UI Hub. So what I do is filter this on watch on demand too. I want this to the category. If you have used Airtable before, it's really simple. It's like having a very nice Excel for you to play with. So we have all of this. We have the data already, so it's good. I am going to just log into my Bravo Vision. So I'm already logging here. These are all my apps. I'm going to the UX UI Hub app and I will just reload my file. since I built this and this live, actually this you go live. Sometimes I really don't care, to be honest, but we could also just do this in versioning, but I will do it live. So, and for a few minutes until I just join those items, it won't look so well, but you'll be able to see on the app live what we just built, and that's really important. So you see here on the side very soon when you just navigate here and you come to events, you close the app like if it doesn't load. I think it will load. So you see here, if you have the app live on your phone, that's what you are going to see there. If I click, nothing will really happen because there is no data related to it. So now we are going to add those there. You go first for the data. We need to get those items from the UX UI Hub. Yeah, it's live indeed. Wow. So now you just duplicate something here. Very simple. We have one of these requests that's called on demand. On demand. You duplicated this one because it's a very similar request. We actually need the same type of data. So it will be a copy, but now we called it HubMeet. The difference between one request to another will be the view that it's getting. So the view from event on demand was on demand, and the view we want now from the data is UX UI Hub. So I will change the view here to UX UI Hub. When I click send, you see the data coming. What is that is coming? It's the ID that we need to do that second view, the fields link. So it's the link where the page you redirect to. Then we will have if it's free or not. Also the headline, start date, all of these that actually many of them we are not going to use. So you can come to output variables and delete them. I just leave them because later on I could clean it up just to not use our time for that. Okay, great. So now let's make it work. We come here to events. Then we have the pages. We have what we just did there. And if we come click view next, you see it goes already to Luma and you can see the database there. So now you click here in the items for the slide. So I want the slide to repeat all of that list that we just created, the HubMeet. So I'm getting my data from the UX UI Hub and I'm getting a HubMeet, great. And I am repeating the records. That alone won't do much, but you just put here new. Actually not here, but invisibility. I want this item or this item called new to be visible when new is turned on. New is turned on when it's added to the database less than 7 days. So I want to show you here a variable of new. There is one that you be with a new on it, and the rest won't. So right now we have done that. And if we come to the app again, we can reload here. If we come to the ad again, you see here already a lot of things happening on this slide. And there is one new. And the newest should be the first, right? And not the opposite. So here we are sorting by the latest. And these you also go live. Let's see. Once we refresh here, because, so it's already there. Great. We have the new. So let's add the rest because the rest is most exciting. So like I go again, events. Okay. Now I'm coming here. I am adding to the button. I can either leave it be, right? What is happening right now? If we click, it's already going to the right thing. So I can do that for now and forget about the button. So you do it. You change now. The gradient is not necessary. Let's add the image because the image is most important. We have a field that's called square. That's the one I tried because the featured one is a little bit different. So now you see all of those images kind of stretched in the area, like I said before. Let's see it going live now. It might take a little time. You refresh again. Yes. So we have Eve Malik. It's new. We have a play button. You see, there is one thing happening here too. The SVG is actually not working. So there are 2 ways to fix that. There is a tag called SVG that we can edit here. But what I do mostly is just to flat the item and most of the time it works. So I just did that, and let's see if
It's
that.
working for me. It shows up.
Oh yeah, are you using Android?
No, iPhone.
Oh, interesting. You see, on my iPhone is not really the play button.
Yeah, the play icon is showing up.
Oh, interesting. So it also changes according to models. I never thought this would be possible, but it's good. Like that's why it's so important to really testing different devices, right? Well, it's really hard to know what it will be a issue or not. So that's why it's really good to be, oh, okay, no, I won't use this or I won't use that. So this is my phone. Let's see if now the play button works. I cannot open my phone to check on the phone itself. Oh, the other thing we need to do just to make it right is to remove it from the one below, right? So this is
Right.
very simple. It's just changing the data, and the data is on here on Airtable. So what I do is that all the UX UI hub, I will actually remove it. So I want these to be this and this, and actually be different of HubMeet. So here is the institution field. So it is not UX UI hub. And then now it won't have it repeated. And now it should be good. It didn't work yet. Maybe I will show you already what you can do in that case. So there is a tag called SVG, that you just add it, and that you really prevent it to not work. And that is it. Oh, it's gone from your phone too. Oh, you see, so it works and it doesn't work. Who knows? That also could be something I could add to the image itself, but it's not so good, right? The best is really for some elements to not be related to the image, because then we can play around with design when we want. And that's the ideal. Okay, so now you see when change, because this one you vanish, because this list is already not there. Okay. And the button, this still not here, which is really funny. I don't know what is the problem with that. I will just put it all here. Maybe it's something related to positioning. I can simply add a different icon too. So it was, yeah, for you it's working, right? Okay, could be that it's just because I need to close and open my app. Let's see if that's it. I will close it and I will open it. So, because that's a better way to restart the app. Okay. Yes. So we have it. And now we could just do, I added more space here, but in the end it was not a good idea, you see? So here it looks much more space than it is. So I will definitely get back a little bit. I think it would be nicer when it's a little bit closer to the top. So what do you guys think? Like, we are about to finish. I am sorry for the delay. It was really fun building a live for the first time. I hope the second, third, and the 10th time would be even better for sure. And I'm sure it will be better. So I'm glad you came and I'm glad you participated. And this app is for you. So would be really happy to have you join these events and also helping ideate around it and seeing how we could improve it together. The next event you'll be, oh, so now it is a little bit better. The next event you'll be on, so today we did this one, and we can just change the button now for the next one. You'll be on April 8th, so it's next Tuesday at the same time. And now we can just change the link. Let's change the link here instead of the slide. So where is the button? The button is here. I put on top of everything, and I change the link from going to a secondary page to go directly to YouTube at the moment. What do you guys think about that? Instead of going a second and a third step. No comments, so I think it's good. Okay, I will change the button now. And you refresh here because I changed the order. The button is on top of everything. We have 3 minutes. It's time enough to do that change too. And now we have a new section, which I'm quite happy about. And I'm sure the experts you also really enjoy. So now the URL I want to open is the link. If we come here to the data, so UX UI Hub, we have a URL and we have a link. And then when we click on a link, it opens directly YouTube with that one content. What I can do sometime next would be to do a player of YouTube inside the app, and also create a web component using AI. If you like that idea, we can do that together next after these other 2 sessions that we already have booked. So I will refresh it here. I will close the app. Once it's refreshed, I will open again. I hope this was enjoyable, and I would really love to hear your feedback for this session, and to understand more why you want to learn no code. And yeah, thank you for participating. Okay, so now we are here. Let's click on Ivy Malik, and we are going directly to YouTube. That's all for today, everyone. Thank you again for coming. Thank you again for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed as much as I did doing 3-in-1. It is teaching you a little bit about no code, making a difference for UX UI Hub and the other apps that I might involve on these events too, and creating content for YouTube. You receive the recording of this for you to follow along again if you want after the event. And if you enjoyed it, invite your friends to join the next events. I will put the link in the description. Take care, and hope to see you next Build Hour or next Build O'Clock. See you. Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Dual. Thank you for participating. I really enjoyed everything. Thank you all for coming. See you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. I'm glad. So come in next week if you can.
Absolutely. And if I have some questions, I will message you on LinkedIn.
I love that. Do that.
Sure thing.
Okay. See you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.